In this video, I'll go over with you how to do a bird field investigation activity with your kids outdoors. Coming right up. Hello and welcome to Eco Elsa. Thanks for watching my video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Elsa and I make videos to help you and your kids get outdoors. In this video, I'll be going over with you how to do a bird field investigation outdoors with your kids and some tips to help you out. This is going to be geared more towards teachers in a classroom setting, but if you're a parent or you homeschool, this is for you too. There's plenty for you to do. It's just some of the tips might not apply to you as much. Additionally, today is my birthday, so to celebrate my birthday, I'm hosting a giveaway and I will be giving away prizes to 5 lucky winners. So stay tuned till the end of this video to see if you won a cool prize, as well as if you weren't entered in this giveaway, how you can still walk away from this video with a cool prize. So let's get started. Step number 1 is picking a location. So if you haven't already found an area where birds naturally like to hang out, or you haven't already set up bird feeders somewhere, this is the step for you. You need to do one of these two things so that way your kids have somewhere they can go and observe birds. Now, if you want to set up bird feeders, you need to do it sooner rather than later because it takes a little while for the birds to get acclimated to, hey, there's food over in this spot. And you need to make sure you keep putting food up there. That way they keep coming back and you'll have enough birds to observe, hopefully about a week from when you start putting the bird feeders out. Now, if you don't want to do that, you need to go and find a natural location that the birds like to hang out. Either a place that provides some cover or a place where there's a lot of food. Depending on what time of the year it is, this will differ. So in the winter, you're probably going to want to find a tree that still has berries on it that the birds like to eat. And if you're looking for cover in the winter and there's snow on the ground, pine trees are always a pretty good bet. Additionally, you need to have a backup location for indoors in case it gets too cold outdoors or it's too wet or whatever the temperature may be. So you need to find some kind of a backup location that your kids can view the birds from indoors in case the weather is too poor to be outdoors. So a good window that you have access to that you can see a lot of birds from. Step number 2 is introducing the activity. This is very crucial as it will set the tone for the rest of the class. So make sure you set it really well and you get it consistent and concise to what kind of a group activity you want this to be. My suggestion is to introduce it as, you're all going to be scientists today. I need very clear, concise observations that are scientific in language and nature, and take note of the different kinds of birds we see, how many, and the behaviors that you see. So if, for example, if your student puts down, the blue jay was being mean, that is not super scientific. What they should do instead is write down, I saw one blue jay being very aggressive to the chickadees and chasing them off of the bird feeders. Just make it more accurate and scientific, and make sure you're making this message clear to your students when you're introducing this activity. Step number 2 is classroom management. The big, most important thing when doing this activity with your students is making sure that they are quiet, because they need to be either quiet so that the birds will come to the feeders or come to your area, and then once the birds are there, they need to be quiet so that they don't scare them away. So make sure you're making this the number 1 thing for today's class outdoors so that you actually have birds to observe and your kids can write down observations about. You can encourage this kind of behavior by either rewarding them or disciplining them when it doesn't work out. So for a reward, the students who are the most quiet can receive some kind of a prize like candy or extra credit or something else. Or if the whole class is quiet, the whole class gets a reward. Otherwise, on the flip side of the classroom management, you have discipline, and if students are not behaving how you would like them to, they're not being quiet, you can either send them in or do whatever makes sense for you and your class in this activity. Especially keep in mind if you already have a classroom management system that works really well indoors, try and see if there's a way you can translate it to the outdoors so that way you're keeping consistent with the students and it's easier for them to remember. If you're looking for more information on this topic, go ahead and click the description. There's a link below on this topic that I've done on another video called Classroom Management Outdoors. You can watch that to learn more about how to do it when outdoors teaching. So step number 4 is collecting data. So while you're doing this activity, it's really important to make sure you have a good data collection sheet that is very clear on what you're asking your students to record about the birds. So the number of birds, species of birds, and any observations about their behavior. Lucky for you, I have put together together my very own Eco Elsa observation sheet. So if you want to learn more about how you can get your hands on one of these, make sure to stay tuned till the end of the video. Now, the second part for data collection when outdoors is making sure that your students aren't all recording the exact same birds and the exact same behavior. So what you need to do is find a way of spreading them out along the trail while you're hiking, or maybe the area that you're observing, or spreading them out in the arc around the bird feeders. You don't want them to encircle the bird feeders, because then the birds might feel a little bit surrounded, so they won't come to the bird feeders as much or at all. So an arc will be better for the bird feeders. Additionally, if you don't have that much space, or you can't do an arc around the bird feeders because say you're indoors, then what you can also do is put students into different groups so that they're observing different bird feeders. You can even letter or number the bird feeders, like your group, you're watching bird feeder A, B, C, whatever. You can also have students watching the ground below the bird feeders, or any of the trees behind the bird feeders, or any objects behind the bird feeders. This way, all of the different spots are being observed for behavior. You aren't getting all the exact same observations down, and your students will actually have things to compare and share at the end of this activity. Remind students to put down good observations of the birds that they're seeing, how many, and if they can't identify what it is, make sure they write down a really good description describing that bird, or even get a picture of it, so that when they're back in the classroom talking with you and their fellow students, they can maybe try and figure out what it was based on other people's observations and field guides. Step number 5 is submitting your data for the Great Backyard Bird Count. So if you're not participating in this, go ahead and skip to the wrap-up step, which is step number 6. So when it comes to submitting your data online, you can either submit it onto the Great Backyard Bird Count website, otherwise onto the eBird mobile app that you can get on an iPad or a phone. When it comes to submitting stuff onto the eBird mobile app, it's a lot easier to just log into it ahead of time, so this only works if all of your students have access to iPads or phones for this activity. So how this will work is when you get outdoors to observe the birds, or you get to your spot, all of your students will log on to the app, they'll open up their account, and they'll start a checklist. And as they go through the checklist, they'll put in the number of each of the different species of birds they see, maybe include any photos or any additional observations, and then they'll submit their checklist at the end. What is great about using the eBird mobile app is it keeps track of your location if you check the box, and so that will keep track if you're hiking and doing this activity where you saw certain birds along the trail, as well as it keeps track of time, so how long you're doing this activity for and at what different times you saw the different birds. So it keeps a track of a lot of the things for you, and all you and your students have to do is write down the weather and the conditions for when you're observing these birds. Now, if you don't have access to iPads or phones for this activity, even for the students to be in groups, then what you can do is on a data collection sheet, you'll write down all these observations, so the time you saw birds at, how many, of what species, any interesting behaviors or things to note, and then you'll just go onto the Great Backyard Bird Count website, make an account, and just submit the data there. So it's really easy to do, and what's really great about it is you can also take a look at other teams' results and see how they did and what things they saw. But more on that in the wrap-up. And finally, step number 6 is the wrap-up. So for this, the big thing is your students have just spent 15 minutes or more being quiet. So they're really gonna need to talk. So what I like to do for an activity is to do a pair and share. So what you do is you get the students in groups of 2 to 3, and you have them talk between each other and figure out what birds they saw, any interesting behavior, if there was a bird they saw that they couldn't identify, and maybe having their friends help them try and figure out what it was. Hopefully your students wrote down a good description of it since they couldn't figure out what it was. So after you've given the students a chance to pair and share and get their observations out, usually about 5 to 6 minutes, giving each student about 2 to 3 minutes to talk, then you bring them all back into a group and you call on a few students to share any cool observations they saw or any birds that they were unable to identify, to see if maybe as a class you can properly identify them. Additionally, once you've had all your students submit their data, or you've compiled everything that you've seen on your board or in your computer, you can also go then to the Great Backyard Bird Count website or onto eBird, and you can show students all the other observations from around the world that are happening because other people are out observing birds. And they are participating in a citizen science activity where your students' answers are actually going to scientists all around the world to help them when they're studying and researching birds, which is super cool. So that's a big recommendation for why to participate in the Great Backyard Bird Count, because you're participating in citizen science and you can show your students that they're actually being scientists. Overall, this activity isn't a very long activity to do. At the very least, you're observing birds for 15 minutes. You have about 15 minutes to do your wrap-up discussion, and you have about 15 to 20 minutes to do your intro and your travel time, as well as submitting your data online. So overall, this activity should take about 50 minutes to about an hour and 10 minutes if you have some extra time in there for travel or for observing birds. So it is definitely a doable activity for you and your students to do as a classroom activity. Now, it's about -3 degrees out here. It's pretty cold. I think I've spent about as much time as I can outdoors talking to a camera, holding still. So we're gonna head back inside and I will be announcing the winners then of my giveaway. So, magic teleportation, go. Okay, so we're back inside. Sorry, quick teleportation. Hair's a little messy. Just deal with it. We're gonna get started now with the giveaway portion of this video, and I'm really excited to share this with all of you because I'm super passionate about the outdoors. I love getting outside. I love helping people get outside. And the last year making these videos and talking with all of you and getting your comments and feedback has been really awesome. It's been really cool. So I'm looking forward to keep doing this in the next year. I just want to say a big thank you to all of my subscribers and followers on all my different social media platforms, my blog, my email list, and of course here on YouTube, all you wonderful subscribers. I've loved doing this just for the point of I'm refining my own skills and learning how to teach to a camera and such, but it's been really fun also interacting with all of you. I've really enjoyed helping you all with your different outdoor problems, getting to talk to you, building a little bit of a community. It's been really fun, and so I really appreciate you guys all supporting me and taking the time to watch my videos and read my stuff. So to celebrate all of that, and since I've been doing this for over a year now, I thought what better way to celebrate my birthday than by hosting a giveaway for all of you so that you guys can all get a bunch of cool prizes for my birthday and I can celebrate my birthday, because I mean I like getting presents for my birthday, but I also kind of like giving. So I hope you guys all enjoy these cool prizes. So now without further ado, let's announce the winners of each of these fabulous prizes. The 5 prizes that you could be winning today are a pair of Bushnell binoculars, a brand new Peterson field guide, this is my copy, not the brand new one, a Stan Takela field guide, and 2 lucky winners will be walking home with my very own set of bird exploration cards. So the very first prize I'm going to announce is for the Bushnell binoculars, because I don't think you guys want to wait until the very end for these puppies, right? You want to see who the big winner of these are? What's really great about these binoculars is that they are going on Amazon for about $28. $28.25 to be exact. So these are very affordable binoculars and they work very well. They're a great set that to use with kids. It's easy for kids to use them. So it's a really great way for maybe a teacher to get a new pair of binoculars for you to try out to see if you would like to buy a whole classroom set for you and your students. If you want to know more about these Bushnell binoculars, check out a link in the description below to the Amazon page, and I'll be having a blog post going up pretty soon reviewing these binoculars, so stay tuned for that. And the winner of the Bushnell binoculars goes to this super subscriber. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel or following my email list. Couldn't do this without you, and I hope you enjoy these binoculars once they get to you in the mail. Our second prize winner will win a Peterson field guide. Not this one though, this one is mine. It's very worn field guide, but I love it. So nothing against Sibley, Audubon, or any of the other field guides out there. The Peterson is just the one that I've grown up with and I have a lot of fun memories of. So that's the one I will be giving away because it's the one I really, really like. Nothing against other field guides, they're just as great. I prefer Peterson, so you guys can deal with it. If you don't like Peterson, oh well. You can go get your own field guide because it's my birthday and I'm gonna do what I want to do. So the winner of the Peterson field guide is this fabulous follower. Thank you for following me on YouTube and or on my email list. I really appreciate you and all of your support, so I hope you enjoy your Peterson field guide. Our third winner will win a Stan Takela field guide for their home state. What I really like about Stan Tequila field guides, I've just been introduced to them in the last few years, is that they're organized by color when it comes to flowers and birds at least. And what's really cool about that is for beginner birders and for kids, a lot of times the very first thing you notice about the bird is what color it is. So it makes it really easy to use a field guide that's sorting all the birds by color, because then you can just sort through all the yellow birds and figure out which yellow bird it is. So I find that really useful for when teaching people birding, and so this wonderful winner is going to walk away with a Stan Tequila field guide of their choice for their area of the US. So the winner of a Stan Tequila field guide is this bold birder right here. Thanks for following or subscribing to Eco Elsa. I really appreciate the support, and I hope you enjoy your Stan Tequila field guide. And our final two winners will each receive a pack of bird-themed exploration cards. But what are exploration cards? Exploration cards are cards that seek to engage students in learning outdoors, hitting on as many learning styles as possible. So for this pack of bird-themed exploration cards, I focused on 3 main learning areas for these cards. They are 1, learning through observations and exploration. So for the visual learners, the students who need to have some quiet time figuring things out on their own. The second group is for the physical learners. These are the cards that get the kids active. They're learning through moving around and doing things, or through simulating bird behavior. And the third and final group is for the mechanical learners. These are the kids who learn through building and creating and making things. So those are the 3 main groups that I focus on with these cards. So there's a little bit of something for everyone and learning style. And what's great about these cards is you can either use them as an introduction activity to learning about birds or being outdoors and exploring. Otherwise, if you're a parent or just a teacher who likes to go on hikes with your kids for the learning process, you can also use it as an activity to engage students along the hike, to keep them focused on, hey, we're in nature, we're out here to learn, but we're also out here to have fun. So for example, for these cards in the deck, one of the cards is watch for birds, what color seems to be the most common? And another one is shape your hand like a beak and try picking up things. So these are just 2 examples out of the 36 cards in this deck, so your kids shouldn't be running out of things to do anytime soon with these cards. And it's a great way, again, of engaging your kids in learning outdoors as an introductory activity, or just engaging them to be present while out on a hike. So our final 2 winners today who will be receiving the Explorer cards that are bird themed are these 2 dynamic duo right here, you 2. Congratulations on winning your Explorer cards. I hope you enjoy them and you get a lot of use out of them on the trail. Let me know if there's any cards that you think I should add to the pack in the future. Wait, there's more. If you would like to walk away with your very own set of the bird exploration cards and the bird observations data sheet, then go ahead and click below to a link in the description to join my email list. If you join my email list by this Friday, February 15th, you will receive a PDF that includes the bird exploration cards and the bird observation data sheets. Only for a limited time, only until this Friday, so I would get on that right now so that way you can receive these 2 things for free and celebrate my birthday while you get ready for the Great Backyard Bird Count, because you'll be receiving these things just in time for the Great Backyard Bird Count Friday through Monday. So make sure to participate in that and help support citizen science and teach your kids about citizen science, the outdoors, and get outdoors learning and having fun. All of the great things, all the things I believe in here at Eco Elsa. So make sure to do that. Once again, a big congratulations to my winners from this video, as well as a big thank you to everyone who entered in the giveaway and everyone who's subscribed and followed me over the year, as well as everyone who is going below and joining my email list. That way you can walk away with some cool prizes and help me celebrate my birthday. Now, unfortunately, that is all we have time for today, so make sure to subscribe to my videos below if you liked today's video. Go check out my channel, see some more, as well as make sure to get in that description before Friday and join my email list so that way you can win the bird exploring cards as well as the observation data sheets. As well as check out my description for links to lots of other cool things. I have resources in there that I mentioned in this video, like my classroom management video, as well as there's links to my social media accounts where I post tons more things to help you and your kids get outdoors. So as always, I hope you all have a fantastic week. You be safe, learn lots, have fun, and get outdoors. Bye! Thanks for watching today, and happy birthday to me! You didn't see that? Shh.